Back with that not-so-mundane topic of rubbish, we're looking at Catalonia in Spain and Dubai in the UAE. Catalonia in Spain has some excellent rubbish separation systems. Look at this practical bag with everything printed on the side so you know how to recycle. Yellow for light packaging, green for glass, blue for paper, brown for organic materials and black for residual waste. Take note of this because we'll see this colour code a little later. Now let's take a peek into a few homes.
Escombraries orgànic, aquí, escombraries en vasos, el rebuig, aquí hi ha altres coses de rebuig, i ens anem al rebost, que hi tenim aquí el rebost a punt per anar a la deixalleria. En vasos Nespresso, tenim el paper, que l'agafo tant aquí, el paper, en vasos grans de plàstic, i aquí són tots els envasos de vidre que els irem a llançar.
Let me interject. Did you see those coffee capsules? We'll see what happens to them later. Now let's see how Esther manages her recycling in a smaller kitchen.
A trobar els espais, en aquí, el plàstic, el vidre, en aquest espai sota la pica, l'orgànic, el rebuig, en aquí hi posem el paper i aquí guardem bosses de paper que ens van bé per reciclar.
Now let's look at some of the less obvious things that are separated, like this lady collects all her cooking fat and uses it to make soap. Anything left over is treated as special rubbish that needs to be handed in for special recycling. Nothing goes to waste. Bottle tops are collected separately for a charity, and here's a little box to collect batteries. This family is lucky enough to have space for a compost container. They have one here with their neighbour. If you compost yourself, you get a discount on your rubbish fees. Chemicals, aerosols, paints and fabrics are also collected separately. Citizens are then required to dispose of their rubbish at designated locations. This is where the 392 inhabitants of Gualta dispose of their rubbish. And remember how the batteries were collected separately? Here they go, in the white postbox. You can see now how the color coding lines up as mentioned before, yellow, green, blue and brown containers, each for the specific items that need to be thrown away there. As you look in the bigger cities, there are more containers spread around the neighborhoods. This is Figueras with 50,000 inhabitants. Now look at these dustbins. You'll see a metal plate over the ground. The collection area is actually underground, so they take up less space and look much tidier. They're emptied every day. But the collection point that is most fascinating to me is this container. As you can see, there are many little openings so that you can dispose of things like CDs, small electronics, printer cartridges, corks, globes and batteries. It's almost like a game for babies where you have to slot the right shape into the opening. You can download an app to your phone that will then track when you dispose of things in the collection point, and money will be donated to charity. This is an extremely well thought out system. And finally, back to those coffee capsules. They go into separate containers for plastic and aluminium over here. Now let's turn our attention to Dubai. There's a big push to make the UAE a leader in environmental issues with its Road to Zero Waste project. They've created the Recycling Hub to recycle electronic waste from Africa, the Caucasus and the Middle East. But day-to-day rubbish separation is not standard practice in Dubai. They've recently implemented a rubbish separation program where they'll collect from freestanding homes called villas, but this is yet to roll out to the very many apartment buildings across the city. Those that are environmentally conscious can contact private contractors to collect their recyclables. But for apartment buildings, large skips are available for citizens to take their rubbish out too. Shopping centres are all set up to separate rubbish, and since COVID, there are even bins for masks and gloves. All over the city, you'll find bins to deposit used clothing for charities. I'd like to give a special thanks to the Rubao family in Catalonia for all coming together to make this video possible. Leave your comments below, look out for the video on Curitiba in Brazil, and adios, farewell, taiti and hamagashle.